We're back with another episode of Beyond the Form C, where we talk with founders of companies raising crowdfunding rounds. Today, we're talking with Nanavati, the CEO of BIB Technologies. BIB Technologies ranked in the top 10% of Hubtas quant scores. To get started, can you share a quick intro about yourself and BIB Technologies?
Thanks, Ashna. It's such a pleasure to be on here and as USC grads as well. My name is Nanavati. I've been working in product and engineering as a career engineer, built and launched products on both digital as well as large system physical scale products at Red Bull, SpaceX, Fiat Chrysler, MUFG Union Bank, and computer vision software startups. I've really led emerging technologies at a number of these companies and delved into mobile app innovation. And so one thing that we've been really excited about for BIB Technologies is that we have been looking at the problem of really the cost of retail and what it takes to get brands into shelf space and how they market, what is their brand visibility. And so that's how we came up with BIB Technologies, which stands for Business in a Box.
Great. So how does your team's background align with the company's vision, and why should investors have confidence in their ability to execute your business plan?
Absolutely. So one thing that we've been building at Business in a Box is we've been creating this entire ecosystem. And something, Asha, that's been really exciting is that we've been creating a combination of, what does a hardware play look like? So when bringing out like these mobile pop-up stores, you have, of course, the permits, you have location placement. We've actually tested with both private and public property, right? With a mobile real estate location that can go to many places. But then on top of it, there's also the analytics side, right? There's the software side of being able to securely collect customer information. How do you do contactless payments? And then this entire mobile store has really low utilities because it's all powered by clean energy. So overall, the team's background, how it's all aligned is, we're early day Solar City. Previously, my co-founder, who was at Tesla, really worked on the Powerwall and like charging infrastructure. So everything that you see in like a tiny home is actually converted and now miniaturized for this mobile pop-up store and optimized so then you can actually take it out and have it standing at long periods of a time, serving customers, being this virtual billboard for your brand. And the background of the company has really been, in custom development for vehicles. So I'm talking like 20 plus years of connections with my co-founder and the team, with how do we bring in like leasing, financing, bring it into like an ecosystem so it's truly turnkey for any business that says, I want to, have a mobile pop-up. What can I do to make this a feasibility and a possibility? Who can take me from point A to point B, which is from ideation to launch in as quick as a turnaround of a week's time?
Great. And one of the things that you mentioned was like ideation. So how did the process come along? And, can you share more about the story about how BIB and Technologies was created, and also the process behind building a storefront?
Absolutely. So when at Red Bull, I was looking at a problem of how can we actually get more shelf space around like the university campuses? And, we looked at augmented reality, we worked on a number of different innovation topics. And one thing that stands tried and true was, if we look at, you and I graduated from USC, we were just talking about this earlier as part of the show. You're looking at $6,000 per month in rent, right? Utility cost in Los Angeles, it goes up like 30% year over year. You hear stories in the LA Times about, pho shops. They are spending like $1,000 just because like they're boiling and their kitchen, over time, right? So when looking at what is the cost of actually having a retail store and meeting your customers and looking at how can you actually acquire customers, right, in a way that's like truly innovative, we started developing what we call the Automato, which is our refrigerated mobile vending store altogether. We started all of this and started creating like how can you add appliances, multiple kilowatt batteries, right, onto a mobile platform, and sync that up with like solar and energy storage. And now we've developed and bootstrapped several mobile stores that all are going out to locations all across Los Angeles. These are iconic, like, Santa Monica Pier. You're looking at museums in the area, parks and recreational spaces, and like all of these amazing areas that are technically underutilized, and makes it really exciting to grow a brand out of course, with the permission with the public and private locations as well.
So BIB Technology holds one patent. What is it and how does it hold off competition?
Absolutely, that's a really great question. So the combination of the patent itself has really been a formation of this combination of energy storage, solar, and the ability to actually tie this up into a digital e-commerce system. So whether it's a user that says, "Hey, I actually want to make a purchase," or "Hey, something triggers it on the back end," like it could literally even be a survey. Then it goes into being able to process, and then they can walk up to the vehicle. They have authenticated, and then now they can like pull out an item from our inventory management system. So everything's all synchronized with like Shopify on the back end, and the patent effectively encapsulates the customer experience of that entire end-to-end user journey, right? And this is for B2C, so the customers that are actually making that purchase, but also B2B, which is any enterprise brand that wants to onboard onto this mobile store, track how much sales they're making, track the impressions, track who's coming to their sites, right? Track who's actually buying, getting that funnel of like analytics. And so what we like to say is this customer experience can be mounted on any vehicle chassis. So we started with the low-speed electric vehicle, and this utility electric vehicle is what you usually see at a university campus, at a golf course, right? So they're specifically for areas that have very high foot traffic, and it needs to be pretty compact. So for example, 6.5 foot high, right? 10 foot long, 5.5 feet like wide. And so you're able to fit into these very like tight curves and park on the sidewalk. So imagine you can take that similar technology and put it on larger vehicles. Like think of the Cybertruck or a semi truck, right? What could that do from a long-term perspective? How we can really change up and say, hey, we can have refrigeration, it's running on clean energy. If there was a customer interacting with it, we'd be able to license that out and have these companies that actually manufacture automotive at scale to say, hey, now we can go B2B. And that licensing opportunity is really what is very exciting for a number of companies that we're working with, and they're speaking with us on OEM licensing opportunities as well.
Great, thanks for sharing that. So my next
Absolutely.
question is, how do you balance short-term profitability with long-term sustainability?
So one of the things that we've been doing is really focusing on what's the unit economics of a mobile storefront. I think fundamentally that's really key to do for any hardware company, right? Even though we are hardware and software like system integrated together. So what we've done is like from a short-term side point, we've really tested the market on what can be sold and confirming that customers are willing to come up and buy products, even from a no-name brand, right? Like we developed our own fro store, we created our own product, right? Amazing like vegan froyo, and people walk up to it. With our partnerships with like the museum and all of that, we have individuals that come up and actually make these purchases. And so through that market testing and actually proving it in market, that we've taken that and actually scaled that out. So from a long-term viability and how we balance it, we look at, okay, well, first off, how can we just conquer one vertical and really understand how to sell within that vertical? So right now, frozen yogurt, CPG are like the main products that we sell. Really kind of just like that flexibility of like shelf life, like CPG products that you see at Costco. They're growing, they're getting big. They even have some venture capital and investors about to put money into them, and they're looking for the interesting ways to grow, right? And before they even pop off and become like a larger brand in a lot of these big box locations, they're looking at really like nimble marketing opportunities here. And that's where we really fulfill that marketing need, right? Because now they can go and meet with their customers in person.
Great. So where do you see BIB Technologies going in the next 5 years?
BIB Technologies and the opportunity of, we like to say, think BIB. And really, that's a call for entrepreneurs and um, designers, developers, ideators, right? To take an idea that they have and create a vision of what a business that could be mobile if you had all the electricity appliances all readily available that can be on the go. And so in the next 5 years, we'd like to see BIB really making that societal impact around natural disaster impacts, support for these locations, being able to funnel quality services and products and goods to communities that need them most. That takes a lot of relationship development, right? And being able to do it in a very cost effective yet execution is really everything when it comes to the operations of it. And so finding those operators that would be able to take this technology and use it for the better good and solve more problems is really where we want to see the company grow. Right now, it is about developing it for and really like continuing to stress test it in all the different environments that we see. But we're already seeing incredible success to it. We're incrementally always improving the platform. And from there, that's where it's really exciting is like, what would it mean if you can take, your own independent electric grid system, put it in a location that doesn't have electricity, refrigeration, and these products and goods, or they don't necessarily have the community that would be able to generate a revenue for a physical location to be at that area, but they can still get it from neighboring zip codes, right? And so that's what's really exciting as a company and exciting as an investor, because this is really truly pioneering a revolution in commerce in that sense.
Yeah, it definitely sounds like that. So my last two questions are more crowdfunding related. So
Yeah.
what led you to choose a crowdfunding route instead of going the traditional fundraising methods? And how do you believe it will benefit both your company and the investors who support you?
Yeah, great question. What we've done is we decided to choose crowdfunding because of that potential for a combination of marketing as well as like fundraising. The whole process of bootstrapping, we've really learned that, we have customers coming up to us in person. They were incredibly excited about what this technology was. Well, after they started learning about it, they've been organic through social media channels. And they've reached out through word of mouth. And so we spent essentially $0 in customer acquisition fees. And we'd like to take that model and we see that opportunity for crowdfunding to be a democratization of individuals who would be able to invest in the next big thing, right? We believe we're going to be that home run when you look at the innovation, the scalability, the opportunity to make change globally. And we are getting calls already, globally. I mean, we've done $0 in marketing and we're averaging 3 requests a week to buy vehicles, right? So that's what really the crowdfunding route is for, is that we can build those operations, we can scale up the team, we can hire the teammates required in order for us to just continue generating and making this incredible impact that we have as an opportunity into this world.
Great. So my last question to tie it all in is, what's your plan on keeping investors and stakeholders informed about the company's progress, challenges, and milestones?
Yeah, absolutely. Great question. One thing that we've done and we've highlighted on Start Engine is that we do quarterly as well as like monthly updates. As part of an investor, you'll be as part of the investor updates. So this will be a combination of like text messaging as well as like email, communication channels, like aside. Fundamentally, it's really knowing what's the progress of the company, and we make great strides on a week by week, month by month basis. And so we condense that information and showcase like how the company is always continuously growing, and something that we're really passionate and excited about, and something that we hope that with our investor community, you can continue sharing it with the rest of the world.
Thank you. Thank you for joining us again, Nanavati.
Anytime. Thank you for having me, Ashna.